The courtroom is austere, with flags of the United States and various military branches adorning the walls. Wooden benches fill the gallery, packed with uniformed soldiers, civilians, and press. At the front, Judge Harrison, 60s, stern, gray-haired, sits elevated behind the bench, his gavel resting nearby. At the defendant's table sits Captain Sarah Mitchell, 32, dressed in her full-dress uniform, her chest adorned with numerous medals and ribbons. Her posture is rigid, her jaw set with determination. Her defense attorney, Commander James Reeves, 45, sits beside her, shuffling papers nervously. The atmosphere is tense, electric with anticipation. Judge Harrison, banging gavel, order in the court. We are here today to address the matter of Captain Sarah Mitchell, who stands accused of conduct unbecoming an officer and fraudulent claims regarding military honors. Captain Mitchell, please rise. Sarah stands, her shoulders back, eyes forward. A murmur ripples through the crowd. Judge Harrison, though indeed Captain Mitchell, it has been brought to this court's attention that you have been wearing medals and decorations that you did not earn. The prosecution has provided evidence suggesting that several of your commendations are questionable at best, fraudulent at worst. Sarah, voice steady. Your Honor, with all due respect, every medal I wear was earned through blood, sweat, and sacrifice. I have the documentation. Judge Harrison, interrupting, voice rising. The documentation you provided has been called into question. This court has reviewed the records, and there are significant discrepancies. He leans forward, his expression hardening. Judge Harrison, so indeed. Therefore, I am ordering you to remove those medals immediately. You will not disgrace this courtroom or the uniform you wear with false honors. Gasps echo through the gallery. Sarah's face pales, but she doesn't move. Sarah, Your Honor, I cannot. Judge Harrison, shouting. Remove them now, Captain. That is an order from this court. Sarah's hands tremble slightly as they move toward her chest. Commander Reeves stands abruptly. Commander Reeves, Your Honor, I must object. This is highly irregular. My client deserves the opportunity to present her evidence before. Judge Harrison, your objection is noted and overruled. Commander, Captain Mitchell will remove those medals, or she will be held in contempt of court. The courtroom erupts in whispered conversations. Sarah's fingers touch the first medal, a bronze star, when suddenly, the heavy double doors at the back of the courtroom slam open with a thunderous bang. Every head turns. Standing in the doorway is General Robert Thornton, 65, a decorated three-star general whose uniform displays a lifetime of service. His presence is commanding, his expression thunderous. Behind him stand two military police officers, flanking him like sentries. The general's boots click sharply against the marble floor as he strides down the center aisle. The crowd parts instinctively, creating a path. His eyes are locked on the judge. General Thornton, voice booming. What in God's name is going on in this courtroom? Judge Harrison's eyes widen in surprise, but he quickly recovers his composure. Judge Harrison, General Thornton, this is a closed proceeding. I must ask you to. General Thornton, interrupting. You'll ask me nothing, Judge. I'm here because word reached me that you were about to strip one of my finest officers of her earned honors based on incomplete information and bureaucratic incompetence. The general reaches the front of the courtroom, positioning himself beside Sarah. She looks at him in shock and relief. Judge Harrison, attempting authority? General, I don't care what your rank is. In this courtroom, I am the authority, and I will not tolerate. General Thornton, truth, you will tolerate Judge Harrison, and you will hear it before you make a mockery of justice. The general reaches into his breast pocket and pulls out a thick folder, slamming it onto the defense table. General Thornton, so indeed. Captain Mitchell served under my direct command for 3 tours. I personally recommended her for half of those medals she's wearing. Do you understand what that means? Judge Harrison, General. The records show. General Thornton, the records show exactly what I'm about to tell you. In 2019, Captain Mitchell led a rescue operation in Kandahar that saved 17 soldiers from an ambush. She took shrapnel in her shoulder and kept fighting. That's the Bronze Star. He points to each medal as he speaks, his voice growing more intense. General Thornton, so indeed, in 2020, she single-handedly defused a situation with local insurgents that could have resulted in civilian casualties. That's the Meritorious Service Medal. In 2022, she pulled 2 wounded soldiers from a burning vehicle under enemy fire. That's the Army Commendation Medal with Valor device. Judge Harrison, the prosecution has evidence that some of these records were misfiled, that there are administrative errors. General Thornton, voice like thunder. Administrative errors? You're willing to destroy this officer's career over filing mistakes made by some clerk sitting in an air-conditioned office halfway around the world? The general turns to address the entire courtroom, his presence filling the space. General Thornton's ONT'd. I was there, Judge. I watched Captain Mitchell bleed for her country. I watched her carry wounded soldiers on her back through hostile territory. I watched her make decisions that cost her sleep for months because she knew that one wrong move would cost lives. He turns back to the judge, his voice lowering but losing none of its intensity. General Thornton, so indeed. Do you know what Captain Mitchell did after that rescue in Kandahar? She spent 3 days without sleep, coordinating medical evacuations, because she refused to rest while her soldiers were still in danger. She earned a battlefield promotion that day. And you want her to remove her medals? Judge Harrison, weakening. General, the procedure in this case. General Thornton, procedure? Let me tell you about procedure. Procedure is that before you publicly humiliate a decorated officer, you make damn sure you have all the facts. Procedure is that you reach out to the commanding officers who were there. Procedure is that you don't rely on a paper trail created by people who've never heard a shot fired in anger. Sarah's eyes glisten with unshed tears, but she maintains her composure. Commander Reeves is frantically taking notes. Commander Reeves, Your Honor, if I may, the defense has been trying to obtain testimony from General Thornton for weeks, but we were told he was unavailable for this hearing. General Thornton, sharply, I was never contacted. If I had been, we wouldn't be having this circus today. The judge shifts uncomfortably in his seat. Judge Harrison, General, are you saying that you can personally verify every commendation this officer is wearing? General Thornton, not every single one. She earned decorations before she served under me. But the ones in question, the ones your prosecution claims are fraudulent? Yes, Judge. I can verify every damn one of them. And I have 20 other officers outside this courtroom who are prepared to testify to the same. Murmurs of approval ripple through the military personnel in the gallery. General Thornton, CONT'd, but more than that, I can tell you something your files can't. Captain Mitchell is the kind of officer who wouldn't accept a commendation she didn't earn. I've had to order her to accept recognition because she kept trying to give credit to her subordinates. He pauses, his voice becoming quieter but more powerful. General Thornton, CONT'd, that woman standing before you has more integrity in her little finger than most people have in their entire bodies. She's saved lives. She's led with courage and compassion. And if this court strips her of her honors based on clerical errors, it will be one of the greatest injustices I've witnessed in 42 years of service. The courtroom is absolutely silent. Judge Harrison looks at his papers, then at Sarah, then at the general. Judge Harrison, clearing throat, General Thornton, can you provide sworn affidavits corroborating your testimony? General Thornton, I can have them on your desk within the hour, along with after-action reports, witness statements, and photographs from the field. Everything you should have had before dragging Captain Mitchell into this courtroom. The judge turns to the prosecutor, a thin man in his 40s named Major Collins, who has been sitting silently, growing paler by the minute. Judge Harrison, Major Collins, do you have any evidence that contradicts General Thornton's testimony? Major Collins, stammering, Your Honor, we based our case on the records review that indicated, that suggested possible. He trails off, unable to complete the sentence under the general's withering gaze. General Thornton, that suggested possible discrepancies, because someone in records management can't tell the difference between a misfiled form and fraud. Because someone decided to launch an investigation without doing basic due diligence. Judge Harrison, heavily, this court will take a 30-minute recess. When we return, I expect full documentation from both sides. Major Collins, you will explain how this case reached my courtroom without proper verification from the relevant commanding officers. He bangs his gavel. Judge Harrison, so indeed, Captain Mitchell, you will keep those medals exactly where they are. This court stands in recess. Everyone rises as the judge exits. The moment he's gone, the courtroom erupts in conversation. Sarah stands with her back against the wall, finally allowing herself to breathe. General Thornton approaches her, his expression softening. General Thornton, Captain Mitchell. Sarah, snapping to attention, General, sir. I don't know how to thank you. General Thornton, waving her down. At ease, Captain. You don't thank me for telling the truth. I should be thanking you for your service. He looks at her medals, then meets her eyes. General Thornton, so indeed. I meant every word I said in there. You're one of the finest officers I've ever commanded. This never should have happened. Sarah, voice cracking slightly, sir, when he ordered me to remove them. Those medals represent every person I've served with, every mission, every sacrifice. Felt like he was erasing all of it. General Thornton, he can't erase what you've done, Captain. No judge, no paperwork, no bureaucrat can take away what you've earned. Your soldiers know. Your fellow officers know. And now this entire courtroom knows. Commander Reeves joins them. Commander Reeves, General, I can't express how grateful we are. Without your testimony, General Thornton, without my testimony, an innocent officer would have been punished for someone else's mistakes. That's unacceptable. He turns back to Sarah. General Thornton, indeed, when this is over, and it will be over soon, you hold your head high, Captain. You've earned that right. The courtroom reconvenes. Judge Harrison looks considerably more subdued. Stacks of documents now cover both tables. Judge Harrison, this court has reviewed the evidence presented by General Thornton and cross-referenced it with the records in question. It is clear that the discrepancies noted by the prosecution were the result of administrative errors in the filing system, not fraud or misrepresentation by Captain Mitchell. He looks directly at Sarah. Judge Harrison, so indeed, Captain Mitchell, this court owes you an apology. The charges against you are dismissed with prejudice. Your record will reflect that these accusations were baseless and that your commendations are valid and deserved. Relief floods Sarah's face. The gallery erupts in applause from the military personnel present. Judge Harrison, so indeed, banging gavel, furthermore, I am ordering a complete review of the procedures that allowed this case to proceed without proper verification. Major Collins, you will submit a full report on the failures in your investigation. Major Collins nods miserably. Judge Harrison, so indeed, Captain Mitchell, you are free to go. And Captain, thank you for your service. Sarah stands, saluting the judge, then turning to salute General Thornton. The general returns the salute, then extends his hand. Sarah shakes it firmly. General Thornton, quietly, keep making us proud, Captain. Sarah, voice strong, every day, sir, every day.